What's happening with you, Sadhguru? Asks Iliad from Lebanon.
These Lebanese people. It's not legal in Lebanon, that's why. Not yet. What, everybody's falling asleep, so I'm coming there for you. Some Lebanese lady is accusing me that I'm more stoned than usual. I want to show you I'm doing fine, huh? Haven't I awake enough, alert enough? See there, from Lebanon, somebody is saying I'm more stoned than usual. Well, see, when we were designing Adiyogi's face, it took me over 2.5 years to get it right. What is it that was so complex about it? We wanted to get stillness, exuberance and intoxication in one face. Do you think we've somewhere close there? So why is intoxication important? Because if you are not intoxicated, you will die of stress. Yes, that's what I was telling you. There is scientific research to show that the cannabinoids or endocannabinoids produced in the body are up 70% for somebody who's just started Shambhavi Mahamudra. Don't ask me what is my percentage. 70% high means, as I said earlier, it is much higher than what happens even in a sexual intercourse. It's much higher than that. Just sitting here, you're blissed out. This is how you become free. Not by denial that you become free. You become free because just sitting here is just so fantastic. Just being alive and breathing is so absolutely blissful, you don't have to do anything else, you're just fine. So, what is special about this day? As we have told you 1,000 times, there is a natural upsurge. When there is a natural upsurge, one thing is you must become exuberant. Hello, hello, hello. You must you must become exuberant. Hello? Exuberance of life. Exuberance of life is wonderful, but if there is no stability, it'll become madness. So, you must become still. You must have the capacity to sit still. I'm sure you can do that. And you need to be a little intoxicated, otherwise you can't do these crazy things, hello. So these three things need to happen. Today the situation is good, so I'm making the best use of it. I want you to make use of this too, hello? To be exuberant, whoa, whoa, whoa! To be still and intoxicated. Let's make it happen.
Sadhguru, Shiva used to ride on Nandi. If Shiva was here today amongst us, what would he ride? Asks Saira from Dehradun.
See, unfortunately, because these things were all definitely it came either from UK or from Europe at one time, so the power of an engine is measured in horsepower. If it was in India, we would have said bull power. So you know what he would ride.
Iyad from Lebanon asks, Shiva is the destroyer. Why do we worship the destroyer? Isn't this anti-life?
Why is this Lebanese girl after me like this? Well, in Lebanon you're just recovering from winter just now, still on. Well, most of the leaf from the tree is down, most trees are bare. If these leaves, which have done their business, if they don't come down, do you think fresh leaf can come up? If… I will spare your grandfather, if your great-great-grandfather still around, would you be here? No. So, the process of life is sustainable only because it is an ongoing cycle of creation, maintenance, destruction. If you get attached to your present existence the way you are, you don't want to get old, you want to get Botoxed. You don't want to look old, what's the problem? Hey, what's the problem with me? You don't want to get old, you don't want to die. It's important. As we are born, when we were children, we were longing to grow up. When we become adults, why are we hesitating to become old and die one day? Because this is the nature of life. If this cycle is broken, there shall be no life. Let me tell you a little story. Can I tell you a story? I'm asking your permission because for most people, if I say once upon a time, they think it's bedtime. This happened not so long ago. A rich man, a rich family built a nice new house. It is part of the culture here that when you build a new house, generally in the rest of the world, they will party, they'll get drunk and get sick on the second day of going into their new house. But here, they will invite a sage, a seer or a yogi to come and bless their house. So, they invited a yogi. He arrived, he's a yogi, but they welcomed him like a king. They did all the best things that they can do to a guest, fed him well. Then time to leave is coming. So both husband and wife came, prostrated themselves in front of the yogi, and then they said, please give us a blessing. Yogi raised his hands and said, first let your father die, then you die, then your children die. They said, what? We welcomed you, treated you like a king, and you're telling me my father should die, I should die, my children should die? The yogi was bewildered. Did I say something wrong? What is this nonsense? You're asking all of us to die. I said, I'm not asking you to die. You're anyway dying short. Hello? Are you all dying short? Yes. Right now full of life, but dying sort. When you are the dying sort, isn't it best that first your father dies. If you die before him, that's not good. If our children die before us, that is not at all good. Hello? So first father dies, then I die, then my children die. Everything is natural order of things, perfect. Hello? So, that is why the destroyer, he must come at the right time. He should not come too early or too late.
Lokesh from Delhi asks Sadhguru, Himalayas and Kashi are more closely associated with Shiva. Instead of those places, why did you choose southern India to establish Adiyogi and celebrate MahashivaRatri?
And not everything you choose, some things choose you. Hello, both of you? This Lebanese lady has a lot of questions, let me answer. So, why Velagiri Hills? Not my choice. Probably I've said this many times, but she's Lebanese. She's not heard me. Well, right from my infancy, I always had a mountain peak in my eyes. In the background of my vision, always a mountain peak. This'll sound crazy, because till I became 16 years of age, I thought there are mountain peaks in everybody's eyes, because it was always there. When I am awake and asleep, it was always there. When I was around 16, that's when you really start talking, then I realized nobody has mountains in their eyes, just me. So I started trekking. I trekked Western Ghats, almost every peak in these 1700 kilometers from Karwar to Kanyakumari. I did 11 times. And climbed every peak. Then I realized I'm not finding it, it's somewhere else. Then thinking it could be, because everybody in India was talking about Himalayas. So when I was 19, for the first time I went to Himalayas. The moment I saw those peaks, I know it's not there, because they are very different in their structure. But from the age of 19, 27 years, every year I trekked in Himalayas. So you're asking, why am I not feeling cold? That's why. Because I'm internally air-conditioned, both cold, hot. So, we went on looking for the mountain. After some time, it's almost like I'm not going to find it. In 1987, for the first time, I landed in Coimbatore, and I just got off a night bus at around 3:45 in the morning, and it just blew me away. I just sat in a place and lost myself for almost an hour and a half. Then I knew it's somewhere here, and we started looking. I found it in 1993. I saw the peak. Probably you have not seen from here. If you go a couple of kilometers this way or this way, you will see the seventh hill. Once I saw that peak, the peak in my eyes disappeared, and I knew this is the place. At that time, there were no roads, simply not approachable. We just… an open piece of land. I just said, this is the place. We didn't know who owned it, we did not know it's available or not. But on the 11th day after I stepped in on this land, we had registered the land in the name of the foundation, and since then, there's been no looking back. So, I'm not all choice, I am a slave. Blissful, that's all, but slave. Not everything is my choice. Not everything is nobody's choice. Please.
Barbara from the US asks, Shiva has so many conflicting qualities. He's the greatest dancer, but also sits absolutely still. He's the ultimate ascetic, but he's also married. What, Sadhguru, is the true quality of Shiva?
Well, this is a very disturbing issue of modern times, that everybody has to be something. You can't just be just like that. You got to be something. Everybody wants to nail you with one quality, but that's not the nature of a human being. One moment you're wonderful, another moment you're nasty. Hello? You do that or not? Another moment you're blissful, another moment you're a little pensive. So many things. A human being can be so many things, but we are always trying to nail one quality on somebody. Somebody is a good guy, somebody is a bad guy. I have never seen a good guy or a bad guy in my life. Everybody is capable of everything. Hello? But whole cultures are going about saying, these are bad guys, these are good guys. I said, you're bad guys, you okay? There is no such thing. This is the beauty of being human, and this is the danger of being human, that you're working, one step out, you fall on your face. Right step, everything is fine. This is so around you and also within you, every moment. This is why consciousness. So Shiva, or you call someone Shiva because he has tasted his nothingness. He's not just tasted his good and bad, he's tasted his nothingness. You definitely cannot call nothingness good or bad. Well, some people will name that also, nothing is bad, I want to be something. Well, if you are something, you become a quantity. If you become nothing, you become universal and eternal. Nothing means, you must understand this by putting a hyphen between no and thing. You are not a thing. Are you a thing? You are not a thing. If you're just identified with your bones and flesh, you're a thing. But little more fire of life is happening within you. We can't call you a thing anymore. Hello? We can't call you a thing anymore because this is life. So Shiva is exuberant life. You cannot contain him to any particular value, to any particular quality, to this little one You cannot contain him to this or that. He is capable of being everything. Well, even you are, but you nail your things on one thing or the other. It's time to unhinge yourself This doesn't mean you will go wild, no. If your humanity is absent, or I don't know, you put it in a trash can, then you'll have to carry the burden of morality on your head. If your humanity is overflowing, you don't need the burden of morality on your head. That is the story of Shiva. He is clearly telling you, he is a living human being. He is not made of a bunch of morals and values and ethics. His humanity is overflowing.
Sadhguru, we have time for 2 more questions. Pooja from South Africa asks, why do we worship Shiva when he was surrounded by distorted and demented beings like Ganas and Rakshasas?
Like this. See, this is a very serious and painful problem that human societies have carried for generations, for centuries and millennia. If somebody doesn't look like you think something terrible should be done with them. Hello? They just don't look like you. They can be just a different gender, they can be different race, they can be different something, just different. Because somebody is different, you think they're not all right. How many terrible things have we done simply because somebody looks little different from us? How many terrible things? So once again the same question, he's got ghanas, distorted beings. See, today the young people, see that hairstyle looks distorted to me. See this guy shaved off a little bit and left a little bit of hair, looks distorted to me. You can make anything distorted. It doesn't agree with you, it becomes distorted. There is nothing distorted. Why should all of us look the same way? Is there such a rule? Yes, unfortunately. Unfortunately, everybody should look the same. Because the whole thing is called industrialization. All of us should look like the same product. Because there is an industry called education, there is an industry called economy, there are so many industries. If you become a nut which doesn't fit into anything, what do we do with you? We want to see that we can make use of you. If we can't use you, what good are you? Well, somebody's looking totally different from us. Why should we call them distorted? Maybe we are distorted? Hello? Maybe we are distorted. There is no such thing as distortion. This universe allows every shape, every form, every color, every creed. This allows everything. There is no such thing as distortion in this universe. Tell me, is planet Earth distorted? Suppose you look like planet Earth, are you distorted? I'll leave that to you. So, your ideas of distortion are rooted in your prejudice as to who is distorted. How do you know you are not distorted? Shiva himself was considered distorted. When… There is technological problems as to how far I can go. So, when like, today is MahashivaRatri, the ascetics see that this is the day when he became Achaleshwara. That means he became absolutely still, like a mountain he became. The householders, family people believe this is the day he got married, this is his wedding anniversary. Let me tell you something about his wedding. When Sati when when his wedding was fixed with Sati, who was the daughter of a king, the father completely disowned the girl because she wants to marry this absolutely crazy-looking man with dreadlocks, ash smeared from head to toe, wears elephant skin around his waist, that too freshly skinned, still dripping blood. That's his clothing, that's his dress. So, the father said, no way, you marry this man, it's finished. No, absolute no. And somehow she convinces the mother, and the mother, seeing the girl is absolutely in love, she yields to this and somehow the wedding is fixed. Then everybody who is somebody, all of them arriving, the local small kingdoms, princes, princesses, everybody in their best attire, all coming for the wedding. And Sati is all fully dressed up, everybody is ready. Then Adiyogi Shiva comes for the wedding. Full dreadlock, ash smeared, blood dripping from his elephant skin, and all these his friends who are all… they even have limbs. They have limbs which have no bones, so you know what all they can do. Even though you got bones, see what all you do. If you had no bones, how many things you would do? They were doing all that. People just saw, oh my God, what is this? And when he arrived, Sati's mother, Meena, saw him, just thought that my girl is going to go with this man. She just fainted. Then Sati knew this is going to be a disastrous marriage now. So she went to him and said, please take on a more socially accepted form. He said, what's wrong with me? He's little… not drunk from outside, drunk from inside. Then she said, please, my mother has fainted. She will lose her life if she once again sees you like this. Then I said, okay, your mother, all right. And he transformed himself into a resplendent being. In that form, he was called a Sundaramurti. That means the most beautiful man. So, then the wedding happened. Then the father also could not believe, wow, this is the man, the same guy? This has happened sometimes, hello? So, this aspect of what is distortion is all in our minds. If we learn to simply look at things without our own judgments about everything, everything has its place. Hello? A worm, an insect, a bird, a creature, everybody has their place, isn't it? Not just us. And that too among us, they must look like us. If everybody just looked like you, could you live in this world? Hello? Nobody looks like you. That is the blessing we have. If everybody looked like you, finished your… never ask for this. And also, what is it, the problems that you have with people around you? They're not like you, that's the problem. Yes, you can't get along with somebody. Why? Because they're not like you, not just physically, in every other way. Just I want you to imagine, just one more person just like you in your house. Can you live there? One is too much. So we are glad nobody is like us. Hello? We are really glad nobody is like us. If there was one more like us, we will have to exit. I think there's one more question.
Yes, Sadhguru. Our last question is from Ashwini in Bengaluru. Do I have to necessarily connect to the persona of Shiva or be a Shiva devotee to experience the possibility of MahashivaRatri?
There is a question, huh? There is a question. Anyways, this girl is from Bengaluru. I don't know how the Bengaluru people are doing. Adiyogi is there also. Namaskaram to all the Bengaluru people. I hope you guys are doing well. So, do I have to connect with Shiva or Adiyogi's persona? This is what we were talking about in the previous question. He has no persona. He can be any way he wants. He can be in such a way that it seems to be a disgusting form, or he can be the Sundaramurti. He can be absolutely aware and he can be completely drunk. He can be anything and anything. So how do you connect with his persona? There is no persona. Persona means you got nailed by the society, that's what it means. Or you took on a certain number of thoughts and emotions, opinions, ideas, prejudices, and you said, this is me. That's a horrible way to live. Hello? Hello? This is a… See, either you can let your thoughts and emotions determine who you are, or you can determine how your thoughts and emotions should be. This is a choice you have. This is what Adiyogi represents, that you don't allow your thoughts, emotions, ideas and silly prejudices that you have to define who you are. You define how your thoughts should be, how your emotions should be, how you should be right now, as it is needed for the situation. You are not defined. This is the most important thing. Unfortunately, our education systems, our social structures are always telling you that you must define yourself. Define means you have fixed yourself within a boundary. Defined boundary means you have created your own personal prison. And then you wonder why you're unhappy, Well, you locked yourself up, and why are you not unhappy? If you're not unhappy, I am disappointed. Hello? Because if you locked yourself, if you wrapped yourself in your own silly ideas and you're not unhappy, then what is the use of my work and my sadhana? Spent 3 lifetimes to unwrap myself. If you're wrapped and still doing great, then what's the point of this? So, you don't have to bother about Adiyogi's persona. There is no such thing. Whatever you like, make it that. He's fine with that. You can see him as a very beautiful man, as a distorted man. You can see him as a yogi, you can see him as a lover, you can see him as a Bhuteshwara, master of all elements. You can see him as a Pashupati, the leader of all the creatures on this planet. There is no end. You make whatever you want. The important thing is, you understand you are making it. Right now. And this is the only thing that matters, that Adiyogi, Shiva is important in your life because… wait, all this this is… I got it. வரல தமிழுக்கு வந்துடுவேன் கொஞ்சம். Wait. The most important reason why Adiyogi, what is this whole effort about? This whole effort is about you being able to take charge of your life, not looking up for help. You're always… See, I want you to know, the planet is round. Hello? Planet is round and it's spinning. You look up, which is up? When something is round and spinning, do you know which is up? You don't even know which is up. So you're always looking up in the wrong direction. The only right direction is to turn inward and take charge of this. Whichever way you look, you're looking in the wrong direction because the only and only precious thing that you have is life. Have you been to a funeral and seen a dead man or a woman? Have you? So, hey, wait, you can love me later. Have you seen a dead body? That guy is like this, perfect posture. You go and tell him in his ear, you got 100 crore lottery, you just won. The guy, he's not interested. You go and tell him, in your house backyard, we just found a massive treasure. Not interested. You go and tell him, the prettiest woman in the world has fallen in love with you. Not interested. Just yesterday, this guy was hopping all over the place. Today, because this is the only damn thing that you have, life. If you do not make this enhance itself, if you do not make this into something wonderful, look up, look down, look wherever the hell you want, the same mess. Adiyogi is important for you because the signs of inner well-being. No matter what life does to us, life will do many things. sometimes pleasant things, sometimes unpleasant things. Life will do many things. But how you are should be determined by you, not by situations around you, people around you. You should decide how you are. If you decide how you are, will you choose to be miserable or blissful? That's it, you got it, that's it. Hey, play some music, come on now, everybody got it. What happened? The drum is